In this simple example, we'll stop Sasuke and Naruto from colliding into each other by using a simple pause button to pause the game. In order to do this, we're going to need to access the class time, which is from UnityEngine. This class provides a whole bunch of static properties that we can access from other scripts, and one of them is called timescale. Looking at its definition, it is the scale at which time passes. Since our goal is to pause the game, which is essentially freeze the time, let's have a look at timescale. When timescale is 1, time passes as fast as real time. When timescale is set to 0, your application will act as if paused if all your functions are frame rate independent. Here we can see that our timescale is currently set at 1, and if we play the game, time will go as it's supposed to. Now let's see what happens once we manipulate this down to 0. As the description was saying, at 0 the timescale stops. And this is great, but we need a way to access this while playing the game. The reason we need this is to check for it every time we press the pause button to decide what to do. So whenever we're doing our pause function, like we know we're going to set the timescale to 0, but we're also going to say that the game is paused. For the unpause function, we're simply going to put the timescale back to 1 and say that the game is unpaused. And finally, we're going to simply check for the player's input inside of the void update. But first, we need to check the Boolean gamePaused. We're going to say if the game is not paused and if the player presses spacebar, then use the function pause the game. Else, meaning that if the game is paused and the player presses space, we're going to unpause the game. And that's it. This is your pause function. The key here is to make sure that we're placing this Boolean before placing these input checks. Else, it's not going to work. Okay, the last critical part to remember is that when we're using timescale and setting it to 0, it will only affect any function that uses time. Let's go look at the movement script for Sasuke and Naruto. I just want you to notice that the way that they're moving is by multiplying the speed by time.deltatime. By pausing the timescale, we're setting this to 0, and therefore this entire movement is now equal to 0. By changing this function over to something that does not depend on time, we can see here that even if I pause the game, the characters won't stop moving. So how do we deal with this? The easiest way is to add the following condition. I'm going to say if pause menu dot gamePaused, which is why we had set this over here into a public static bool so we can access it in other scripts. And we're going to say is equal to false. Then and only then will we play this function. Now let's just confirm that this works. And there we go. We're now able to pause non-time based functions. I've included the script inside the description if you'd like to simply copy it to create a pause button. I'm also included a link for another YouTuber that does a really great job at explaining how the timescale works if you'd like to learn about this in greater details.